leverage some of the core fundamentals that we have here. But let me stop there. We've got plenty of time. I'm sure we're anxious to hear from each of you, and appreciate you being as straight and any questions, concerns. Just one last point before I stop. My opinion of, and this is just one individual's opinion of the board, is they need to understand and be connected with the parent body. We need to understand what the parents want. The board needs to be accessible and needs to be listening to what the parents want for their children, to what the teachers want. And much like Dave, my level of engagement with the school has not been full on. It hasn't been disengaged, but I certainly approach my position in serving with the board with the primary objective of listening and being accessible to the parent body. Once we understand what you want for your children, for their education, that's the first step before we can formulate any plan and make some actions going forward. So, parents, thank you. Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Thanks, Wayne. All right, I think at this time we'll open it up for anybody's got questions for, actually, if you got a question you can ask, so we get an answer from all the board, and then maybe if we need later, we can move into if you have specific questions for specific board members. So this time I'll open it up for questioning. Yep.
Can you explain a little bit first, before we get to questioning? This is the first time I've been involved with looking at the board and evaluating. So can you explain sort of what this voting looks like, what this whole process looks like moving forward?
All right, what the board of directors for Windsor Charter Academy is made up of 7 members. According to our bylaws, we have to have at least 5 and no more than 7. 2 of those board members, up to 2 of those board members can be community at large members. Currently we do have 7, and actually I can introduce them real quick. Luis Ramirez is on the board, and this is his last term, so he's going off the board this year. The other one, Heather Kinney, she was elected to the board the year before last. Then Laura Whining was elected last year. Rob Umbaugh, sitting in the back, he was elected last year. Courtney Gook was elected last year. Courtney Gook is our community at large member. Courtney doesn't have kids here at WCA right now. I don't know if his kid's 2 years old. I believe it's 2 years. So he's planning to enroll a kid as soon as he gets old enough. But so right now he's serving as a community at large member. And then who else am I? Oh, John Fan is the other board member who this is his last year. Board members serve 3-year terms, and they're staggered in every 2 years. We elect 2 new members, and then the 3rd year we elect 3 members. And so this year we have 2 members going off, so there's 2 positions open. So currently we can elect 2 members who are parents, and we could elect 1 who is a community at large, and I don't believe any of the members that are running are community at large are all parents. So, and then the voting will be here on May 17th. It happens at Mayfair, which is a week from Friday. And we will work on putting together the absentee ballots in the event that somebody can't be here on the 17th to vote. And we'll probably get those put together, and you can pick them up here from Anna, the front office, and fill those out. So, I guess there any other questions real quick? Okay. All right, then let's move on. Let's open it up. Does anybody have questions for our applicants? Jen.
I was wondering if any of you have observed or volunteered in a K2 classroom, a 3-5 classroom, and a middle school classroom. I think that's real valuable to even not only volunteer but observe, because when you're volunteering you're busy with kids, but to observe and watch what the teachers do in a given lesson.
Absolutely. I will say briefly, if you go, I made a site that talks about all about me and all that kind of stuff and my positions on things. If you go to colmere.us, 8 letters, 2 4-letter words. I've been, for 2 years in a row, I've worked in Mrs. Amorati's room, dedicated to her as a homeroom dad. I work here in the library every Tuesday, and, you know, I'm here a lot. As a professional, I got things going on, and I'm a single dad, but I'm here an awful lot. I'm very actively involved in first grade class, second grade class with Miss Jensen as well, and in this here room.
Currently, I have not been able to come in during the daytime hours, but I am blessed to be able to work from home, probably coming in June. And I have a flexible job, I'm salaried, so I can be able to start doing things like that. But currently, I have to go over to Greeley to work, and it just hasn't really happened. So most of mine has been after hours, or at home, cutting things out, or coming to, you know, like I said, come to board meetings, come to education committee. So that part, unfortunately, I have not been able to do yet.
I believe the question was, have you been involved firsthand in the classroom? I have not. I have been involved with chaperoning on a number of field trips. In fact, both Terry and I have had that opportunity. My wife has been much more plugged in on a daily basis with the kindergarten class, but I have not.
Okay, thanks. Next question?
I'm just wondering if any of you were able to attend the parent or the principal interviews. And so if you had a chance to hear Becky Teeples, who has been elected or hired as our new principal, and then the second part of that question would be, how are you going to, because she is our new principal, so how will you, as a board member, rally behind her and bring this school to where we have cohesiveness and we have glue and we can bring this school together? Because I personally was at every interview, and obviously we have division in the school. I think there are pockets of people, groups of people who are very outspoken, but I don't think that necessarily means it supports that's what the entire school thinks. In fact, I was really disappointed to see that we had a really negative article in the Windsor Now, and unfortunately, that was, I think, had to do something with one of our marketing people, that we actually even put that in there, and to have it so one-sided to say that parents are all upset, it really upset me, because it makes Windsor Charter look bad. And once again, that's not necessarily everybody's opinion, and it's too bad that, John, you had to get in there and at least you interviewed and said, hey, there are some pockets of people, but we're doing what we can. So anyway, sorry to get off track. How are you going to go back? Because we have to have the support, and the board's going to have to support her, whether you like her or not. And so I guess hopefully you do. So if you can just answer that.
Give it a ride, I think you guys were part of that. I
I'll
wasn't.
go first. I did attend the second 2 nights of interviews. I was not able to make the first. I was on call.
Which ones were those, if you could just tell me? Who did you attend?
Oh, I'm
This
sorry.
was my question.
Tracy, Julie, and Rebecca.
Okay.
And as you know, I was disappointed in the decision. But that does not mean I don't support WCA. And I love this school. I've been all about this school ever since my kids started attending here. The administration, the teachers, everybody has just been wonderful. And let me just, as an example, my children, before I could come to WCA, they're adopted through Weld County. I had no choice. They go to your district school, you can't go anywhere else. Once I adopted, first thing I did was head here. And an example is why I love this school so much is the communication from the teachers to us. My son went a whole semester at a different school, not turning in his homework, nothing said. We sat down and did it. He brought it to school, didn't turn it in. Here, email, just like that to me. I could approach him, what happened? Oh, I forgot. So that's one reason I love this school. And, you know, it is what it is. I am here to support WCA, whether or not I agreed with the decision or not. I will back Rebecca up. I will be here for her, I will be there for my children, I'll be there for the staff, I will be here for the parents. This is a wonderful school, and this is where I want my kids to be.
I had an opportunity to attend all of the interviews, and, you know, it was great to see the parents that were there for all of them. I truly wish that all of the parents, or more of the parents, took that initiative, because that tells me a lot about the level of engagement that the parents do have or don't have with a pretty serious decision in bringing in a principal that's going to be leading the education plan for their children. So I did find the time and make the time and prioritize accordingly to take part in those interviews. I think it was, I fully support the decision. In looking at, if we're in a very emotional time right now as a school, and I don't think we've plateaued yet. That will come closer to the end of the year. With all my respect to the two principals that are serving and that have served us, they've done a tremendous job. I wish them the best of success going forward. What this school needs, and I believe that Ms. Teeples is going to bring, is some outside perspective that perhaps we haven't seen or we haven't recognized, or that, and when I say we, this is the board, this is the parents, this is the principals, this is the leadership of this school hasn't been able to act on. And that outside perspective from Ms. Steeples, coming from the outside, is exactly what we need going forward. If we want to make a difference, and if we want to look at raising enrollment and retention levels, we need that outside perspective. And I think the timing is outstanding, that we can look at bringing some outside perspective to help support the board and to help support Ms. Teeples. Now, to directly answer your question, what will we do to rally behind her? Again, it comes down to connecting with what the parents want and what the parents need, because ultimately it's the parents that are going to decide if their children attend here or not. So that has to happen. Ms. Teeples needs to have that same perspective. And so there needs to be a very close alignment and a bonding between her, the teachers, and the board.